Full, you feel the change. The pain subsides, you break the chains. Now on our foes, you're in the chase, hunting all across your place. Werewolves gather under moon. The night is ours, it comes so soon. Stay out of sight if you know what's good, but the night calls you like it should. Howling out beneath the stars, moonlight shining, scars and bars. Join the pack, embrace the wild. Feel the thrill is free and wild. Your senses sharp, claws digging deep. The night's alive, the city's asleep. Eyes are glowing, feral sight. In the shadows ruling the night. Heartbeats racing in the dark. Every whisper leaves a mark. Under moon our spirits rise. No disguises, wild eyes. Howling out beneath the stars. Moonlight shining, scars and bars. Join the pack, embrace the wild. Feel the thrill is free and wild.
Whoa. Oh, Dan, you look so much better.
I'm sorry.
Brilliant. You're right.
Happy Halloween, bitches.
Brilliant.
Oh, man, that's coming around.
And by the way, sorry for the confusion, gang. I thought we were going on at 7 today, not 7:30. So if I confused anyone, 1,000 apologies. My fault.
Get it out, Thrash. That's a Frankenstein mask. It's one of the really old ones, but it's based on Bela Lugosi.
It does look like Bela Lugosi, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's the Bela Lugosi Frankenstein mask. That's a rare one. Most of them are based on Korolev, but I found one that's actually got the Bela Lugosi face.
Fire, good.
Even though he looks a little the Plan 9 from outer space ending there, but the palsy look. But pick on Bella. Shut up. Maybe it's too early to pick on old Bella.
Bella, blah, blah. I come to suck your blood, blah, blah. There you go. Boy, everyone's here tonight, though. Hello,
yeah, we have returned.
Gary, good to see you.
Yeah. So, if you want to go ahead and welcome everybody in, Dan and Pons, if you want to get on that.
Breaking news. I have turned on comments. I can see what they're saying.
Oh, he's serious about the show now, man. He got the comments up.
I only do this.
Professional.
I only do that on this show, just so people know.
Oh, that's how cool he is here. He do it here. Base.
Please.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, welcome everybody in. It's awesome to see you guys here. Everybody on Dan's side or Pon's side and my side. I'm also on Facebook with this because nobody watches there, so it's really easy. Okay, so welcome everybody.
Welcome Snark, Lance, Mike, Gary, Keith, Tom, Autumn, Esmeralda, Christopher Wilkinson.
Christopher Walken.
These boots. These boots right here, to which I am wearing.
Or walking boots.
Foxy's friends. I think I said hi to Keith, but I'll say hi to Keith again. I'm just gonna scrolling down, make sure I get everybody. If I miss anybody, and Nightmare. Love the handle, by the way, Nightmare. Nightmare. Good to see you as well.
Nightmare doesn't live too far from me, so
Yeah, this
you
could be
understand why
the-
he's got a nightmare.
This could be the first stream I've ever been on that started with a Nancy Sinatra reference.
Big Guys 45 is here too, by the way.
I bet he
and
loved the
good-
Nancy Sinatra reference.
I was going to say, good call with the Nancy Sinatra. Yes, I always wanted Christopher Walken to do a cover of "These Boots Are Made for Walking."
Right? Or walking into Winter Wonderland would have been cool too.
What you mean? Good to see you, Blue Chicken. Hello.
Blue chicken's from that fictional land of Australia.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Fictional, huh?
yeah, definitely. Australia's not real. Ask people, they'll tell you about it. And I'm like, oh, okay, neat. Hey, Kiss. Kiss lives in the Philippines. Is visiting out here in America again because he's got family out here and thing. There you go.
Welcome, Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Which means Knights in the Service of Satan. That was a ring. All you Kiss fans in the 70s got that one, I'm sure.
I actually heard that from an aunt or two back in the day.
I'm sure you did.
I'm not going to tell you what my stepfather told me when I was like 11 years old and wanting to put a Kiss poster on the wall.
Oh, tell us.
No, I can't because we want to keep it at least somewhat PG. Even though I was on a show that it was going for G and broke an R yesterday.
Did I have a Kiss poster? No, I had Heather Thomas in the pink bikini. I'm sure you guys all remember that one.
No doubt.
Chance probably showed it on his show or something.
I'm certain of it.
So I know we're going to talk about werewolf movies this week. And
But
before
of
we
course.
get started on werewolf movies, I was telling Ponce backstage, let me bring this out again. There was a 2022 movie called Morpheus that come out. And it was totally a synthetic blood vampire movie kind of thing. I watched it for the first time yesterday, and I was overall impressed. I call this a good movie. A couple of people don't agree with me. We talked about it. But overall, me and Chance from Nostalgic Pop Blast both think it's a pretty good movie.
Good to see you, Kevin. Glad you could make it. See, I haven't seen it myself actually, but I'll try to. I'll put it on my must-watch bucket list. It seems every time I have a chance to watch a movie, I crank out like an old movie out of my collection and watch that. What can I say? I love this movie. And speaking of old movies, okay, who's everyone's favorite werewolf? I know what a lot of people are going to say, but there's more than one right answer.
My favorite werewolf.
Yeah, person who portrayed a werewolf.
I don't know too many people that portrayed a werewolf.
Well, like Lon Chaney, for starters. The original Lon Chaney Jr., of course.
But did he really portray it?
Warren Zevon.
Warren
Werewolves of London. Oh, Werewolves of London. Every time I hear that song,
I can give the award for the world's cutest werewolf. That would go to Dee Wallace at the end of the Howland. She looks so cute. Too bad they had to shoot her. She'd have made somebody a good pet right there, boy.
I bet she would. The scene in The Color of Money where Tom Cruise is shooting pool and seeing Werewolves of London at the same time. Every time I hear Werewolves of London, my mind always goes to that scene.
Every time I see Tom Cruise, I always go to the toilet and puke.
Every time I see Tom Cruise, like I was saying earlier today, I think of what they said in school. Oh, you could be just like Tom Cruise and have everybody read you the stuff. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be like Tom Cruise. Thank you. Anyways, terrible.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
We were tearing. Well, Dan, you were probably there too. We were tearing Valkyrie apart. It wasn't even a World War II movie show. It was on vampires, but we were tearing Valkyrie apart because it could have been such a good movie if they had gotten literally anybody else to play von Stauffenberg.
It would have been such a good movie if they all had actually been vampires in the movie.
Well, since it was Germany, it would have been more werewolves.
Yeah, since we're talking about werewolves.
Werewolves would have been more
too
accurate.
obvious.
Yeah. Romania would have been vampires.
Hey, I've seen some really good werewolf Nazi movies. Over
Well,
the years.
the
Favorite
underground
house.
soldiers at the end of the war were called werewolves.
I can't remember the name of it, but I saw one about Nazis and American soldiers battling on a battlefield and werewolves
Happy
being
birthday,
taken
Face.
prisoner in that turn. And I just can't remember the name of the movie.
There's
It
a
escapes,
bell in my head.
it escapes me at the moment.
Well, I believe Rod Serling actually wrote the teleplay for this. It was in Night Gallery. It was a short story called "The Devil's Not Mocked," and it's about this group of SS soldiers who hold up in a castle because they hear that there's partisan activity going on in the area, and you find out at the end it's actually Count Dracula's castle, and he has an army of werewolves.
Yeah.
And when the full moon comes out, the werewolves chew up literally all the soldiers, and the commander is killed by Dracula. And it's this really awesome scene where, because the guy has the iron cross around his neck, and Dracula just kind of goes and pulls it off. Because remember, the cross only works if you have faith. And the implication was the SS were not of the faith. And it was a really good scene. I don't know if you guys, how many of you actually watched Night Gallery, but it was one of my favorite episodes.
Oh, I love
I'm
that
very
gallery.
familiar with that myself too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a like a short in Night Gallery. It wasn't like a full movie, but it was great. How many of you out there remember the TV show Dark Room? It was like an anthology horror TV show.
Apparently.
It sounds somewhat familiar, but I don't know if I ever watched that one.
It was hosted by James Colburn hosted it, and there were usually like 3, maybe 4 segments in it. And there was one where a girl thinks that she's dating a vampire, and she's doing like in Lost Boys, like she's putting garlic in his food, and she's doing all this. Helen Hunt plays the girl, and she keeps doing all these tests to see if he's, because she's convinced everyone said her boyfriend's a vampire, and she's trying to like figure it out. And then she's like, "I'm so relieved you're not you're gonna think I'm so silly. I thought you were a vampire, and you're not a vampire, and I'm so relieved." And he goes, "No, I'm not a vampire." And he turns around, and he's a werewolf. And I'm like, "Ooh, irony!" Out of the frying pan into the frying pan.
But to be honest with you, after Van Helsing and the 500 other movies from that series, I'm a little sick of seeing vampires and werewolves fight. I really am.
Well,
agreed.
That all
Especially
came from
with the
a role
shiny
playing
stuff.
game. It was a role playing game from like I want to say the 70s. It started.
I played some D&D. We had vampires and werewolves. It's usually not at the same time.
One thing I did watch the first Underworld. I did like the first Underworld.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I didn't love each and every all 4 or 5 of the Underworld movies. They were great. They were awesome. But after part 4 or 5 of Underworld, and then seeing Van Helsing and a couple of other movies that come out to rip them off, I'm a little tired of seeing werewolves and vampires go at it. We need a new monster to come along.
You think it's been done to death? Well, you could have werewolves versus Frankenstein. The only time I remember seeing that is in Abbott and Costello.
Dude, Abbott and Costello are based. I like them.
They were. Although one of my funniest pieces of trivia about that. Oh, hi John Doe. By the way, good to see you, man. I hope you're feeling better. Costello hated the script of that movie. He didn't think it was funny. He literally said, "I've read funnier things on a tombstone." So
I have too.
There are some funny tombstones, but it was funny because I love Abbott Costello Meets Frankenstein. But yeah, apparently Costello didn't like it, of all things.
Yeah.
Go fig.
Good thing you'd be one of the guys playing the monster that wasn't real thrilled with it. But.
Who played the monster?
Whoever's done to death. Love it, Blue.
Yeah.
I couldn't call his name, but it wasn't Boris Karloff. It was somebody else.
Well, Karloff wouldn't do the movie.
I don't know why I want to say Johnny Weissmuller, but I know it wasn't him.
Good, but it's a good guess. Yeah, I remember there was they asked Karloff if he wanted to do it, and he said he wouldn't because he goes, I don't want to cheapen the monster by putting in the comedy. But supposedly, the way the story goes is, he heard from other actors how much fun they had working with Abbott and Costello that he changed his mind afterwards. So when he had the opportunity, he's one of the few people to actually do 2 Abbott and Costello movies. He was in Abbott and Costello Meet the Killer and Abbott and Costello Meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't see that the meeting a killer would go very well. I just don't see that going well at all. Okay.
My favorite werewolf movie of all time has always been The Howling. To me, that's just the perfect werewolf movie.
It's an amazing movie.
It's probably the Carradine guy's only really good performance in his entire movie career. John Carradine's always been a joke to me from every movie he's ever been in, really. He's always been the, per se, worst actor in Hollywood. John Carradine, man.
Really?
Dude,
I like John Carradine. He plays the one thing very well.
Bigfoot. Have you ever seen him? We was talking about it today. Have you ever seen him play Dracula with the top hat?
Yep.
Now, don't care what you say. These are not good movies.
No.
His acting is not nowhere near a Frank Langella.
No, I like John Carradine. He plays the one thing very well. That the slow guy plays it very well with the moves. Okay, he does that great. But overall, a great actor. Nah, not so much. But I did like him in everything he was in because it was all odd. You know, kind of like Christopher Walken. Like I don't really know if he's even said the lines that he's supposed to anymore. No idea.
Kevin, to answer your question, I like Van Helsing, the movie with Hugh Jackman. I wish they had called it Captain Kronos. I don't know if you're familiar. There was I think it was Amicus. Yeah, there was this English action horror film from, I want to say, like 1970 something or other, and it was Captain Kronos, and he was a vampire hunter, but he was sort of a swashbuckling vampire hunter. Van Helsing was more of like a college professor type, like Peter Cushing played him. But if you've ever seen Captain Kronos, if you haven't, you got to check it out. It's a great.
Was
film.
Captain Kronos the one that had the lady that got killed in Tate?
Sharon Tate.
Sharon Tate in it, and was directed by her husband or something. There's one of them old vampire movies that they made.
I honestly, I can't remember. I haven't seen it in years, but there's a bell ringing in my head. But it could be my tinnitus. But for some reason, I thought it was Carolyn Monroe. But Sharon Tate may have been in it as well. But I think she would have been dead by that point. She was killed in 69, and we're talking early 70s here. So I'm going to say Carolyn Monroe. I'm going to say it's Carolyn Monroe. But I've been wrong before and will be again. But yeah, check out Captain Kronos if you haven't seen it. It would have been a great series. I don't know why they never made more of them.
Well, as of late, like I said, I said this earlier today, I've been watching, or I finished for the most part. I mean, I did pulse a few different times, but anyways, Being a Human, right? And I recommend that series to everybody if you get a chance to watch it on Amazon Prime, right? Because it's just really good. Werewolf, ghost, and vampire live together in a house. It's so really cool.
Oh, and John Doe just said apparently Captain Kronos was supposed to be a pilot for a movie series and a TV show, so that makes perfect sense. And yes, Esmeralda, it was the Manson family that killed Sharon Tate.
Yes.
Yeah, bad people, huh?
Oh yes, right. Oh yes. Yes, I saw Wolf with Jack.
Yes, John Carson, Jane Bryant, Horst Johnson in it. Directed by Brian Clemens.
No relation to me.
Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter, 1974.
74. All right, I was close. I thought it was 71, but it was 74. Oh, and he's about to Sharon Tate was in Fearless Vampire Killers.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Okay, that's got it. And it was Carolyn Monroe in Captain Kronos. Thank you, Indy. You're my savior. In a secular kind of way.
Oh, Yeah, don't get struck by lightning on my panel, please. Hmm.
And yes, Superplex, the Mansons were scarier than any werewolf or even a family of werewolves. Werewolves.
Oh yeah, yeah. At least I know they just want like dinner. He wanted like a whole bunch of just murder.
I did that really good movie back in the 70s called Helter Skelter.
The scene where the prosecutor's watch stops during the trial, and when he looks up, Manson's looking right at him like, yeah, that scared the Bee Gees out of me when I was a kid. For
The
some
Bee Gees,
reason.
huh? That's crazy.
That really scared the Bee Gees out of me.
You know, I was a real little kid when that happened, but I remember it being on the news every night for 6 months.
Oh, you guys are
Wow.
reviewing Captain Carlos on Friday? Oh, awesome. Let me know when. If I can, I can try to make it. Fridays are tough for me, but I'll try. Oh, House of Frankenstein is a good one, Christopher. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh,
I'm just gonna throw everybody's comment up. So be respectful because I'm not reading them.
I'm just giving
that was
Yeah.
Hammer's last film before they went bankrupt. I completely forgot that. I may have known that at some time, but I forgot that. But great point there, Johnny. So, speaking of Hammer, trivia question, and Indy, give everybody else a chance on this one. Hammer Studios only made one bite my tongue, one werewolf movie. What was Hammer Studios' only a werewolf movie? I'll give you guys a second. And again, Indy, I'm sure you know. And John, you're a fan of Hammer, you might know as well. But let's just see who else knows. I can give a hint. If anybody wants a hint, I'll give a hint. But let's give it a few seconds before I give a hint. But anywho. So yeah, so let's see. So we've established that well, Lon Chaney Jr. of course played the werewolf, but werewolf American Werewolf in London. That was David Naughton. I still think that was probably his best performance. I thought he did a really good performance as
I love
a
American
werewolf in
Werewolf
that.
in London Part 1. The second sequel to that wasn't that great, but
I don't think I ever saw the sequel.
the sequel was American Werewolf in Paris.
Yeah, but I don't think I saw it. I don't think I ever saw it.
It's worth one good watch, but the werewolves it's like they used too much CGI and didn't use the practical effects they did for the first one, and it made it look a little hokey.
Oh, I am a big proponent on practical effects. Use them before CGI every day of the week. Plus, every time everybody uses CGI nowadays, it's for everything, and nobody can act anymore because they don't know what they're looking at. So they emote like this.
Yeah.
And you're like,
but
I'm not terrified. In fact, green screen does not frighten me. It's crazy.
And Indy gave away the hint. Yes, that was the hint. Oliver Reed, a very early starring role for Oliver Reed.
You know, it gets me is when I look back at
the
the 80s movies like Funhouse or The Howling or some really old, really good horror movies from back in the 80s, I think the special effects that they did back then are superior to what we're seeing now coming with all this CGI. And
Oh yeah.
the practical effects these days are kind of sad.
Oh yeah,
Well,
I
it
miss
became
it.
a lost
I miss it
art.
when they blow up the models and stuff, and it looked like you blew up an actual city. Now it's just like I can tell that fireball is fake. I can tell that city is fake. Why? They hate us. That's why.
Oh, Tracy's here. Hey, Tracy, how you doing? And she's going back and forth between us and Chance. So that more than understand. Tell Chance we said hi.
Right?
That's okay. He'll be on when we get off. We can all go over and say hey to him.
Yeah, we'll be in the show at Chances for sure. Make sure you
What
go.
it is-
After we get off and say hey to him, then we can go down to the 7-Eleven, get a drink, run by Burger King, get a bag of food, come on back, have dinner, maybe burn a big stogie, and then kick back and talk to him some more because he'll still be on.
Yep.
I honestly don't know how he does it. I applaud him. I don't know how he does it. You know,
Yeah, but for somebody who's gone for months at a time and hours and all that kind of stuff, I know what it takes to do that. But see, he's got actually show a plan. So imagine me not having anything planned and just doing that kind of stuff. So crazy. Wow. I give him props on that.
Now, I saw Sarah sit there one night and talk about birds for 7 hours.
Yeah, I probably did. Yeah.
They're for the birds. Ooh. I'm kidding. That was just a word.
Right?
Sorry. I'm teasing. Oh,
No, I'm
speaking
very
of
offended. Fist in anger now. Okay.
speaking of the birds, Indy was right. The Hitchcock movie, The Birds, is based on a novel that had been written in like 1954, something like that. But I said it was based on an actual event. While the film was in pre-production, was when this sort of mutant algae got into the water off the California coast, and the seabirds inadvertently ate it and started acting weird. And Hitchcock actually used that as like a what's the word I'm looking for? Well, just a way of promoting his film. But in fact, you can't really say it was based on an actual event because the movie was already being made when the event happened. But it was just sort of an interesting event that took place whilst the film was being made.
That's
And I still think The Birds is one of the best like psychological horror movies like ever. I thought it was great.
well,
Okay, so
anytime you can take little old bitty birds and turn them into the centerpiece in a horror movie, you did a remarkable job.
see, my biggest problem with the birds is this. Okay. Most of them are all the seabirds that were attacking everybody, right? They're soft-billed birds, right? So they're not going to give you all the gashes on your head from just hitting into you. All right, that's not how it works. Like my parents, yeah, they'll bite you and make you bleed, right? Because they're hard-billed birds. So
You don't get a nerd now, Paul.
ignorant.
Get a nerd bringing up birds. No, I'm just kidding, but I hate to say it, but I think I'd have taken no tennis racket and swatted them birds like Jim Cornette on a bad day. Bat, bat,
Right.
bat,
I mean,
what
right.
would scare
But then
me
I was
worse than birds is in the movie Bat, where these bats are attacking you like them giant rodent bats that suck your blood and they're all over you. I don't know what you call them. Giant rat fox bats or something.
Rat fox bats?
mm,
Haven't heard of them. Oh, yes, Mr. Led, your
Flying
guess was
fox.
correct.
Sorry, the flying fox bat.
yeah.
Flying fox bats. You got Curse of the
Google
Werewolf
it,
was
it's a real
correct,
thing.
Mr. Led.
It's a real thing.
Yes.
I
yeah.
believe you. I just never seen one.
They're pretty big too. Like out here, we have little fruit bats, right? Just don't let anybody fruit bats. We didn't get in touch because probably all have rabies. I
Flying
guess.
fox bat can weigh up to 65 pounds and it's like
Mhm.
3.5 foot big. You
That's
ain't never saw
65.
that movie Bats. The movie's called Bats with Lorenzo Lamas, and these genetically altered bats break out of this lab and take over the local swarms, start
No,
killing
I haven't
everybody.
seen that. I
And
haven't
that's
seen
how
that.
Batman came about. Really? Okay.
But
Yeah, that was
Bat.
interesting. Like Spider-Man gets bit by a radioactive spider. Why did Batman at some point get bit by a radioactive bat and become a real Batman? That'd be really cool. I don't know. Now
That
I've
would've
just
been
put
cool.
something in
That
motion.
would've
I
been
am
cool.
so sorry.
Well, when Batman came out in 1925, they didn't know as much about radiation as they do now.
Right,
So,
but even now they still just make up things, so it's okay.
They do.
Pulp Fiction.
They do, yes. And thank you, Indy. You were right. It was 1952, not 1954.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Paul.
it.
Is this a movie poster for Bats?
Yeah, with Lorenzo Lamas. I don't think I've seen that one. I don't think off the top of my head. Oh, Indy brings up a good one.
1999.
Indy's reminding me about Chosen Survivors. I don't know if you guys saw Chosen Survivors. That's the film about like people are hiding out in a bomb shelter because they think World War III has happened. But while they're in there, they find that bats have mutated and taking the shelter over, and they have to try to survive these mutant, quasi-intelligent, and very dangerous bats. Thank you, Indy. A great call on talking about bat movies.
Since we just turned it into natural monster, real life monster, animal predators.
as opposed to
Mhm.
animal prey. Although an animal can be both predator and prey.
It depends
Can
on
it
the
not?
animal.
Yeah, it would depend on the animal. Oh, I don't know if you guys heard this. It made
I
like news around here. They found a 15-foot great white shark. It washed up on a beach on Cape Cod.
That's
It was so
awesome.
big.
Did you eat it?
They had it's dead, so it's
I'm
kind of
just
sad.
asking. I don't know what Cape Cod people do. I'm asking.
Oh no, well, it washed up on the beach. It washed up on the beach because it was dead, or it died because it washed up on the beach.
Oh,
Not really sure, but they found this shark. Oh, I must say, I do love those videos where people find the sharks on land and they bring them back out into the water. That's pretty cool. They actually there was a video from here on Cape Cod where that something I did. It was a juvenile, but it was only about like 4 foot long. And they were able to put that back on the water. But this is like a 15-foot male, must have weighed close to 1,500 pounds. They had to take it away in a pickup truck.
wow.
Crazy.
Well, I've seen like one time I think in like Japan. This is I think a true story here because I saw a thing on it, so it has to be true. But they had a whale that they found on the beach that they were going to take in to go study, but it blew up on the way and all over the city. It was terrible. Can you
No,
imagine?
I've seen the video of it. It's actually a video of it blowing up.
Oh
Going
yeah,
down Main
it's bad.
Street.
Whale stuff everywhere in the city. I'd be like, oh, I can smell it from here, guys. Okay.
The guy has this idea. Well, he goes, what we'll do is we'll use dynamite to blow the whale up. It'll be in like manageable portions, and the little bits that are left, the birds will eat. Well, it blew up all right, but it blew up into these massive chunks. One was so big it actually trashed a guy's car.
Right?
Like a 500-pound piece landed it. And that big boom, Sarah, as you will know, and Danny, anyone who's anything, if you've ever gone hunting or anything like that, birds do not like loud noise.
Right? That's
A
crazy.
loud
I
noise.
know.
So the explosion drove all the birds away.
Mm-hmm.
So the whale just started to rot. What was left of it.
You'd think they'd come back after a
Mhm.
while.
Well, they would, but after a day or two, it was really starting to stink.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes living at the coastline isn't so great. Not.
Not
Yeah.
indeed, not.
Yeah, I'm not going to live around the beach.
Oh, I love living around the beach. I just I don't really want to, but I'll visit it, and that's good. And then I'll go inland more, and then it's okay.
I get nervous when I visit the beach.
Well, Danny, I've been to Ocean Isle. That's in your neck of the woods, and that's beautiful there.
No,
Wait.
Actually,
Is Ocean Isle North Carolina or South Carolina? I always get that mixed
I
up.
have no clue where Ocean Isle is. I know it's near the coast, and I'm up here in the mountains. I'm about as far away from the coast as you can get in South Carolina. I'm up near the
Check.
I'm up near the mountains.
And any further, you'd be in Kentucky.
I can walk 100 yards from my front door and see the top of Paris Mountain.
Wow.
Yeah.
I walk from my front door to the street, and then I just drive around town. It's crazy. I'm surrounded by mountains all the way around, though, but I'm also by the ocean, like 30 minutes. So, kind of a cool place.
30 minutes is a good drive to the ocean.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well,
30
in
miles,
Massachusetts,
40
the
miles.
hills are on the other side. We have some beautiful hills, but they're way out west, almost into New York. But I live on the coast.
You know, every time I think about the reason I don't like to live close to an ocean is I think about scenes from movies. You know, like that one where that meteor hits out in the Atlantic Ocean and that girl standing there hugging her daddy when the big wave comes rolling by and squashes them on Cape Cod. Well, wait a minute. Was that Cape Cod where that happened? Or was it Nantucket? One of them islands. And I'm like, no, man. No. I'm gonna live in the mountains.
That was Peleone, and I believe her father was played by who played her father? Maximilian Schell.
Maybe, but you're doing better than me for even remembering who played the parts. You know.
That was there was Deep Impact. There were two movies that came out that year about the meteor hitting the Earth. There was Deep Impact and Armageddon, and I know I'm going to guess wrong. I think it was Deep Impact, but it was probably Armageddon.
No, it was
But
Deep Impact.
It was? I guess right.
Yeah, Armageddon had
Yay.
the really good song that everybody cried over.
It was Matt
And-
McKinnon's show.
And then there's duct tape scene where they duct tape the crazy guy. It was great.
Well, how can you not duct tape a crazy guy?
I don't know, I think it's the coolest thing ever. It's what they use in the airlines and NASA in real life because crazy just can't defeat duct tape. Well, you're crazy. It's crazy.
I liked
Wow, that's
Armageddon better, honestly.
Armageddon was great. Yeah, the other one I can't remember. I saw it one time.
Even if you got Bruce Willis out there to kick his butt, it's a good movie.
The only problem with Armageddon, and I think about this every time I see the movie. Liv Tyler was playing his daughter in that, and they were having an affair at the time.
Awkward,
Oh, this is so gross. I'm sorry.
right?
But
That happens a lot though in Hollywood.
oh, and thank you. Yes, Vanessa Redgrave was the mom. Thank you. Very good, Indy. Thank you for being a human fact checker.
I started to make was that a Miramax movie, but I'm just gonna let that go. Just probably shouldn't go there.
Could have been, but I guess Sharon Tate was on the Beverly Hillbillies. She played a secretary under Miss Hathaway. Under Miss Hathaway.
Well, for
She
like
was
6
under Miss
episodes.
Hathaway.
Mhm.
You said she was under Miss Hathaway.
Yes, she was.
And I can
That's
believe
not
that
implying.
because this Hathaway sleep
Not in that way.
Oh,
You
sorry. Well, we were talking about affairs before, so
Naughty. But yes, Miss Hathaway was that way. But but no, she was like sort of the assistant to bite my tongue.
Mr. Drysdale.
Drysdale, yes.
Neil Byrne.
The other secretaries were just sort of the secretarial pool. A pool I wouldn't mind swimming in.
And that I can remember. I remember that.
I always thought it was cool. Ellie Mae was wrestling bears. I was like, wow, I want to wrestle bears. Then I found out it was illegal, and I'm like, oh, what? Huh?
It is?
That's
Yeah.
when they were really illegal.
Yeah, that's why.
I actually, when I was a kid at the fair, saw this guy wrestle a bear one time.
Well, there's some
FYI, the
massive.
bear won. Hadley.
Well, no surprises there.
It seemed like it wasn't a good idea. And
Yeah, I used to think it'd be really cool too. Hey, Timothy Mothman, he lives by me too. Everybody lives by me. I find all the Californians and I bring them. Anyways, but the point being here is werewolves, right? Or something.
Ah, yes, that was the theme of the show tonight.
Right.
Werewolf, their wolf, their castle.
some werewolves are good and some werewolves are bad. You got your good werewolf movies, and then you got your really crappy werewolf movies. Always, to me, like The Howling or the movie Silver Bullet, that Stephen King movie with American Werewolf in London, were like the really good werewolf
Welcome.
movies.
My name is.
And then you got movies like the Howling Part 3.
Never saw it.
Yeah,
it wasn't
probably
met expectations.
Howling 2, your sister is a werewolf, wasn't too bad. But Christopher Lee running around in it, just tormenting me. It was.
Well, I must confess, I never liked the idea of Teen Wolf. And people love Teen Wolf. They made a cartoon, a Saturday morning cartoon out of it. And I'm just kind of like, meh. You know?
Yeah, I was never matter of fact, I had never really been. I liked a couple of his movies, but I wasn't never a Michael J. Fox fan. I was or a Tom Cruise fan. I can't stand him.
No, that's Tom Cruise.
That's
true.
the third time Tom Cruise has come up today.
Yeah. Sin. Stop talking about it. Okay.
Yeah, no. You mentioned him 3 times, he attacks you. You know?
Some people
We should
got
go
some
live.
unnatural love for Tom Cruise.
Well, he's just such a silly person. You know?
Yeah,
He's-
right.
Although I'm going to embarrass Mrs. Thrash. When we were kids, before I even knew her, I don't know if you folks remember Taps, the movie that takes place in the military boarding school.
Oh yeah.
She's in the other room laughing at me. Tom Cruise is in it. Apparently, she had a crush on Tom Cruise at the time, and I
Anybody
can't say that I
have a
blame
crush
her.
on something? I can see that. No, I really can.
Wait a minute. She had a crush on Tom Cruise but married you. So I don't really think she had a crush on Tom Cruise at all because you're like seriously anti, not even close to him at all. So there you go.
We're both
Every time I
short.
think of Tom Cruise, I just think of him wearing underwear, sliding across the floor, singing an old song, and I'm like, God, I hate that guy.
Yeah, well, like I said, I hated the teachers always because, like I said, it was special ed, right? And none of us could read or whatever. And he should be like, yeah, you could be just like Tom Cruise, and they'll read everything to you. And I'm like, no, stop that, no, no thanks. Don't sit there and tell us that we could be like that. No, horrible. I want to aspire to something better, and now I do YouTube.
You ever see the movie Rain Man?
Yes.
Where Tom Cruise is his older brother, and he's always manipulating Rain Man, and he's always trying to gamble on Rain Man, and he's being this sneaky, pathetic prick of a big brother.
Yes.
You remember that movie?
Yes.
That was Tom Cruise being himself.
Right?
Ouch.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
That's why it's probably the best part he ever played, is because he was just being himself. I just made a lot of people angry, including Mr. Lee 3P.
Hey, music.
Well, anyways, Tom Cruise, never once.
It's official. Oh, it's official. I have upset the president of the English chapter of the Tom Cruise fan club.
No kidding. Really?
3PO has chastised me. Live on YouTube. There you
Well, that's not so bad. He usually sues people who say bad things about him. So
Don't get me started on Scientology.
That's a whole other show.
You know?
I'm out here by them in Hemet, man. They got one of the biggest compounds out there I've actually been to. It's crazy.
Well, let me tell you, there's some things worse than werewolves.
Yeah, giant spiders from Mars.
I hate spiders from Mars too. I'm telling you, giant spiders.
Wasn't that an album by David Bowie?
It was actually a Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. It was a David Bowie parody album thing he did, where he was in character.
That's okay, Emily. We don't think any less of you. We promise.
It's a free country at the moment. Ooh, that's right. I went there.
That's great. But yeah, the werewolves again, right?
When we talk about werewolves, I forgot.
It's like every time we start talking about werewolves, we just go somewhere else. We all just call this the fireside chat because we're just going to sit here and chat. Y'all want to watch us sit here and chat about movies? Y'all more than welcome. If you don't, chances are I'm talking about some bullshit over there.
It's sort of short attention span theater. We talk about something for 30 seconds, and our tangent has a tangent.
You know, when it comes to werewolves, though, Bonds, let me tell you, I think some of the werewolves that I have enjoyed the performance of so-called werewolves were more on television than in big budget movies. Like if you I flash back to an episode of The Night Stalker where he's on this carnival cruise like the Love Boat fighting a werewolf. And to me, that's a whole lot better than some of the full-length werewolf movies that come out today. This 1 hour of greatness. I don't know if you ever saw that episode or not.
I didn't, but I do agree with that. The thing about werewolves is they're a one-trick pony. They turn into a wolf, kill people, and then turn back. How many times can you do that in the movie before it starts to become redundant? So yeah, I can see how doing it in an hour-length format as opposed to a 2-hour format would manage to be a better time slot.
See, this thing about like werewolf movies, right? How do you make them new and fresh? And one of the things I think about them a lot is, you know, the transformation from human to werewolf, like the sheer trauma to your body just from doing that to become one, then to not become one, right? Like, how would you even survive that? Because the body is not a transformer. It's just not. So I never understood how that would work anyways.
Well, yeah. Also, the werewolf. How should I put this? Mass doesn't change, so a werewolf is bigger than a human. How does
Well,
the human
do they
get
travel
bigger?
the
And then,
tortoise? I'm not sure.
I
Like,
guess
I don't
that
get it.
depends on your perception of a werewolf. If you're seeing the werewolf as just a normal physical
Hey, Kevin.
scientific disease like lycanthropy, then your transformation is going to be kind of like in that Antonio Banderas movie where he just kind of grows hair and some teeth and he don't physically transform that much. Maybe I hunched up a little bit or retracted his arm a little bit, maybe grew some claws, but overall the physical didn't change. But if you're looking at these other kind of werewolf, the supernatural kind, the ones with the pentagrams in their hands of the victims and all the supernatural aspects, then you've got magic on your side, and then it makes the transformation possible because then they can become these great big giant magical pentagrams and holy water and all that silver bullets and all that crap.
oh, speaking of the whole pentagram angle, one of the best scenes in American Werewolf in London is when they stop into the pub, and everyone in the pub is laughing and joking, ah, ha, ha, ha. And he goes, "Yeah, what's up with the pentagram on that wall? Because you can only see the pentagram if you're the next victim of the werewolf." And just everyone, boom, it's like the entire bar just goes silent. And I'm like, ooh, it's such a good scene. And of course, now nobody wants to tell him that he's about to become werewolf food, so they're just like really, really rude to him. Oh, if they just said, "Wait here until sunlight. Whatever you do, don't go." But of course, who wants to be trapped with a werewolf's victim because you could end up joining his fate? But
I free
what are you gonna
sigh.
do? Oh, it's a supernatural effect. Yeah, well, it's sort of like vampires. Bats are substantially smaller than humans. So as you say, it's a supernatural effect. But of course, everyone has to, in a modern filmmaking, you have to find the scientific reasons why these things exist, even though they defy scientific logic. I mean, werewolves and vampires don't particularly make sense when you break them down. Although Richard Matheson did an outstanding job trying to reconcile vampires in the scientific universe in I Am Legend. He really, really tried.
And you're saying I Am Legend was some sort of try? That's crazy.
I will.
It's funny that the old TV show Dark Shadows,
Mhm.
it actually had a werewolf and a vampire, and it was probably the being human of the first stage. And one of the things points was that the lady doctor was trying to help Barnabas Collins find a cure for being a vampire.
Yes,
And that was
yes.
like a big plot point of the Dark Shadows series. And I kind of think some of the later I think a lot of stuff was stole from Dark Shadows over the years.
Oh, huge. I don't remember the werewolf in it. Of course, I didn't watch the entire
It was a
series.
cousin. His name was Quentin Collins.
Quentin the werewolf. Quentin the
And he was
werewolf.
close to being a werewolf.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of vampire lore after Dark Shadows borrowed very, very, very heavily
Heavenly,
from
yeah.
Dark Shadows. Of course, and Collinwood, of course, was supposedly set in New England. I always get a kick out of that when I was a kid.
One day, no, I won't do it this week, but sometime in the near future, I'll look through my Dark Shadows comic books and find a comic book featuring the werewolf character and do a review on that. I want to try to get a good story about Halloween, really cool. I'm so far behind, and Halloween's a couple of weeks away, and then I'll be Thanksgiving. I'll be doing different kind of books for a while. So
check.
I make it a rule never to do horror stuff between Thanksgiving and January the 5th or something after Christmas and the holidays.
Well, see, that's interesting because horror movies are most popular during Christmas time. It's crazy. I don't know why, but they are.
Well, I got a channel for that called Shock Theater. I don't do it on the Daily Dan blog. I don't do it. I got a channel called Shock Theater where I'm just going to horrify you all year long and shock you. I'm going to find Christmas movies where Santa Claus comes to kill you and rip you apart and put them on that channel.
It's actually funny just how well Christmas loans itself to horror movies. Possibly best case is Tales from the Crypt. the short story Tales from the Crypt, where the little girl thinks the serial killer is Santa Claus. And Indy, to answer your questions, most of them, I'm seeing a lot of your posts. You may have gone dark for a second, but well, we saw that one, and I've seen a bunch before. Hence me saying thank you for your posts.
The original Christmas horror movie actually came out called A Christmas Carol, which was about the ghost of Christmas, and it kind of started. Actually, that was kind of the first Christmas horror movie ever made. If you
Very
want to
good. Yes.
The Scrooge genre actually part of the horror movie thing. To me, it's
Somebody
horror.
being murdered. Oh, hang on a second. I gotta do something real quick. I'll be right with you.
Alrighty.
But yeah, I guess Dickens did make the first Christmas horror movie. Now that you mention it, or he wrote the horror book. It wasn't
I
turned into a
can't
movie.
think of any Christmas-related horror thing other than the Krampus tales that come out before that. You know, they were Krampus stories, but nothing on film, or they were written Krampus stuff.
But there weren't horror movies set during the or horror stories. Chris, yeah, no, you're right. I think that was the first.
Sorry, somebody was trying to call me, and I was like, "Oh no, I can't right now." So I had to text them real quick and tell them I'm busy. So, anyways, I'm back. Sorry.
A Christmas Story is a fave. Yes, it is.
You know,
it's too early to be talking about Christmas too much.
Yeah, stay tuned for the next time. We'll talk about the thing. Okay, cool. Yeah. Not the thing, the Christmas thing.
This be the show we go on one night and talk about the horror movies of Christmas.
That'd be good.
Dark Knight of the Scarecrow is a horror movie, not a Batman movie. Although I can see the confusion. And Stark says, yes, Gremlins is a horror movie. It certainly is. It certainly is.
Gremlins 2 definitely is because Hulk Hogan's in it.
And of course, and I will die on this hill, Night of the Comet is a Christmas movie as well. Night of the Comet is a Christmas movie. But opinion is divided. Everyone else thinks that it isn't. But there's no werewolves in it.
Why? Why are there werewolves in it? You know, I saw this one. I forget. I don't know what it's called. I forgot what it's called. But like these commando type guys are out there in the woods trying to find these werewolves that they didn't know about, right? Yeah, Dog Soldiers. That's what it was. That was a great movie. Lots of explosions. Everybody dies. Oh yeah, that was great.
She's got a point there, Puns.
Oh, well, Snarksass may have seen Night of the Comet 100 times. I think he may have beaten me. I own it and I've seen it a bunch of times.
I've seen it. I've seen Dog Soldiers more.
Than 100 times?
I've seen Silver Bullet probably 1,000 times. I've probably seen The Howling more than that.
Well, I've just been recently trying to catch up on things.
Usually around Halloween. Just like I always watched the day I watched Halloween 4 and Halloween 5.
I don't think I've ever seen Halloween 5.
You probably didn't miss much. But
I'm trying to remember. What's the premise of Halloween 5?
It's that the little girl's grown up and she has a baby.
Yeah, I didn't see that one, but yeah.
And the little boy from the first one's all grown up now. And the little boy's got the baby of the other little girl and trying to protect it from Michael Myers.
Gotcha. You know, I didn't see that one.
I don't know why. I constantly, once a year around Halloween, watch all these Halloween movies and all these Friday the 13th movies. And I watch a lot of old horror movies. I'm trying to find a couple of new ones to throw in there.
And yes, Suplex, Jaws is a horror movie. Ooh, a were shark. What if someone turned into a shark?
You know, I've never seen Halloween Kills. I have never got around to watching Halloween Kills, and I DVR'd it yesterday. This will be the Halloween I get to watch Halloween Kills.
Because you don't have your sticks anymore for a fire.
Then I'm going to cry after I see it, because usually knowing I've got it to watch, I'm all happy for weeks. So I'm going to watch that movie, and then when I watch it, I'm like, oh God, I watched it. It's horrible.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's Narc Stats. Did you make a Austin Powers reference? I'm sorry. I missed it. I missed it. I apologize.
We're all terrible. I'm not even reading. I'm just putting things up.
Austin Powers.
Yeah,
met,
baby.
I met Vern Troyer once at one of my conventions. Got to talk to him for a second.
That's
God
that little
rest-
skinny guy.
Yeah, he played Mini Me. Yes.
Yeah, little Peck. Okay.
Yeah, he did. But
Yeah, he's no longer
you
with
know,
us.
I mean, it's not a yeah, it's more of a zombie movie, I guess. But you know what movie I really like? Freaking Reanimators. Love that thing. All of them. They're just the best.
I like Reanimator too, but I don't know where you would classify it. Is it
I
a
classify
zombie?
it as awesome.
It's a sci-fi.
I wouldn't call it zombie, but
Well, they come back from the dead, so kind of.
Oh, Snarks, that's Mike
lots of
Myers.
things come back from the dead.
Mike Myers eats a baby. Okay, now I got it. Yes. Okay, thank you.
There's a few things down there that don't come back from the dead, but
Sharknado. Well, yeah, dude, it's just a good movie.
Barbara
all of them are
Crampton
good.
was in Reanimator. Classic
Well,
scream queen.
Yeah, I like Jeffrey Combs. Like I said, I've met him before, and it was really cool.
I love his acting. He always freaks me out. He was in that movie with Michael J. Fox where they were chasing ghosts. I can't remember the name of that.
Frighteners.
Oh,
Frighteners.
yeah, that's good. I like that movie too.
He should have won. He should have won the Academy Award for that performance in that movie.
Well,
Right?
it was a great movie. It was very scary and very funny at the same time. It was a great horror comedy. I loved
That
it.
dude achieved new levels of freakiness in that movie, man.
It really did. It really did. And Jake Busey's in that too, if I
You
remember
can't go wrong
correctly.
if you got a Busey in your movie.
I know, really, really. But
It's going to go one way or the other, but either way, it's going to be successful because you got a Busey up in there.
where did you meet Jeffrey Combs, Sarah?
Okay, so I'm real hardcore activist when it comes to cancellation of Star Trek. Up until like Discovery and Picard came out, then I was like, well, we can cancel those. That's okay. But so they were canceling Enterprise, right? And so they all went to Paramount Studios, and they're all protesting out there, right? So of course, my mom's like, hey, do you want to go? And I'm like, oh, sure, of course. So we went, and that's where I met Jeffrey Combs and the guy who played General Martok, and I got Martok's autograph, but I shook Jeffrey Combs' hand. Like I said, he was walking across the street, and I was like, gonna walk up behind him, right? But then I just stopped. And I'm like, okay, let's analyze this. How weird do I want to be, right? So while I'm putting all the scenarios in my head about how I'm going to go and do this or not, he just like stops walking in the middle of it, turns around, walks back to me, shakes my hand, says, thank you for your support. I'm like, you're welcome. And then he just walks back across the street. And I'm like, it's just standing there going, how did he know I was even there? What a little turn around, right? And so that was weird. So that's how I met Jeffrey Combs.
Cool story, actually.
This hand here, this right hand of mine, shook his hand. How much do you guys want for
it? I'll never wash his hand again. Oh, look, I'm frozen. Oh,
he went all morning without freezing.
I know.
Well, did anybody have 58 minutes on the poll?
I'm just going to leave it as is. We don't got much more time left anyway, so I'm just going to leave it as is. So I'm just going to.
He's in a really good pose, like, what's up? Maybe I can freeze.
Yeah, it's a friendly pose instead of like disapproving all the time.
And hi, Tug.
Oh my God, geeks in the house. Whoop whoop. Yeah. If you guys missed this morning, we were on Tug's channel. It was awesome. It was really fun. I think we talked about vampires. That's what it was. Like right now, we're just talking about werewolves the whole time. Swear.
We kind of agreed today that we were going to talk about werewolves and a few other things.
Oh, Miss Emily, let go of what actually? She should just let it go.
I don't know if Sarah saw them or not, but I'm pretty sure Thrash did. What was your opinion of the Jeepers Creepers movies? And have you seen more than one of them?
I must confess. Really, I must confess, I only saw the first one. And I thought it was really slick as sort of an homage because it's basically every horror cliche sort of stuffed into the same movie. And it's really hard to do that and not feel like you're forcing it. It's hard to do an homage and make it look organic. So I thought they did a very nice job pulling that off. I loved the twist ending. I was like, it was both terrifying and humorous at the same time because It's Jeepers Creepers. Where'd you get those peepers? And he's, spoiler alert, taking the kid's eyes. So I had to say, I thought it worked on levels, but I only saw the first one.
I've only seen bits and pieces of it, and that's terrible. And it was on TV, so it was censored. Censored, just terrible.
I liked part 2 pretty good, but part 3 is a lot better. But I like the Jeepers Creepers series a lot. I think they come out with it's one of the uniquest, newest characters that's come out over the last 20 years. We got our originals like Jason and Freddy and Michael Myers, but they've been around 50 years since the early 80s and the 70s. For the last 20 years, we've got very few new things that come out and stand up.
Oh, well, yeah, you're very correct there. I'm afraid.
And I think Jeepers Creepers will have 4 or 5 more sequels before it's over with and become a big franchise. Even if they just direct the movie channel video movies, they'll still have a lot of sequels.
Yeah, I don't know why they have to make sequels just worse and worse every time. They should stop doing that.
I think they should go with a prequel and show how he became the creeper and show the creation of the thing and whatever.
Yeah, but do it with no like Jar Jar Binks in it type stuff. That would be really good. Yeah.
And Tug, you are absolutely correct. By the way, the director in that is an absolute. Well, I can't actually say it. I don't want to get us in trouble with the YouTube overlords, but no, he's horrible, a horrible person, and. So, so it's and that is something that we see more and more of in Hollywood. You try to watch an old movie and like, oh yeah, did you hear about the guy who directed it or this guy who stars in it? This guy, yeah, it kind of detracts from the enjoyment of the piece. Apparently,
I don't know that bother me. It's like I'm not going to let Harvey Weinstein produced a few movies ruin the movie for me. I don't care. I just don't care. If some star had a problem in his past or whatever, I'm not judging him for his past. I'm judging his for his performance in the movie.
Right. There's that.
I'm not going to let people's problems ruin a good movie.
It just sometimes it's hard to separate the two.
Yeah, especially if they're playing a horrible character. You're like, but they did this in real life. What is this?
And I will be the first one to admit when Pee Wee Herman got caught in the theater, it kind of gave new perspective to Pee Wee's Playhouse. And I can understand why a few parents made their kids quit watching the show. I really do.
Yeah, but my parents never made us stop watching him at all. We knew about it, but then parents were like, hey, if you're still gonna watch, right? Because what he did was just an adult theater thing, right? It's not like he was out with children and stuff. So
once again, who cares? I'm not gonna let it ruin the movies. I'm not gonna let it ruin Pee Wee's Big Adventure. Matter of fact, his little discretion led to him being in Buffy a Vampire Slayer, which is probably the best part he ever played in his whole movie career.
I don't know. I like him in Cheech and Chong movies or whatever that one was.
I'm not sorry.
Not sorry.
Yeah, the best performance he ever done was not being the Pee Wee Herman character. Was some vampire he played in a low budget vampire movie.
Oh yeah,
because he wasn't typecast in that little bow tie, being a little punk no more.
Right?
Did I say punk?
Punk is good.
Depends on the use of the word. That means something different in California.
Hey, you
punk just means punk.
A form of music.
yes, punk music, this good stuff. Yeah, I know that stuff. I party.
What wasn't The Wickedest Witch? Wasn't that like a Jim Henson made for TV special? Or am I thinking of something else? I think I actually am familiar with it, but
Jim
I
Henson.
love The Wickedest Witch. I think I could be wrong. I think.
Yeah, I never liked Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That was like in school when that was out. I had better things to do, like party.
Wickedest Witch. I think that's some little after school special with a little 8-year-old girl playing a witch.
Terrible.
Oh, by the way, Zuberplex, Zuberplex, correct me if I'm wrong, please. Or Indy, you can do it. In Cheech Marin's Born in East LA, in the end of the video, he's with a very attractive redhead woman. Someone told me that that's actually Elvira without her black wig. If you could confirm that, I'd appreciate it, because if it isn't her, I've had a misconception for the last 40 years. But I had heard that they were in fact friends in real life.
Yeah, it looks like I should know the answer to that one, really.
Well, I thought I did it. I just want to confirm it.
I think you got the Elvira comic books.
I love Elvira. She's
Oh, she's
awesome.
amazing.
And
She's
you know,
amazing.
she's one of those people that just never ages. She looks great all the time. Oh my gosh. If I could just a little bit like her, perfect. I'm great. Okay.
Didn't
But,
she have an affair with Elvis Presley when she was working in Vegas too?
No, but
Everybody
she had
probably
dinner
did.
with him. She said she had dinner with him and hung out. They were like
Oh, okay.
friends.
All right. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Oh, I'll come in again. Zuberblick says he can't. I did see the video, but that was such a long time ago. Yes, if only there wasn't some type of format where you could actually go on and watch old videos from the 80s. Huh.
Oh, that's
If
crazy.
only. If
Mhm.
only.
If only.
I'll tell you what, I rewatched the video and it looks like her. It looks like her.
Teach and Chong.
Ooh. Jenny has the right idea. Just ask the computer.
Just what, man?
Working.
I was cheating.
Hello, computer.
Working. Was Elvira in?
Alexis, bite me. Is she sitting there
Family
spin-
show.
Used Alexis. She sits there and spins.
Maybe
Brilliant.
we're not getting Indy's comments because he would have normally piped in by now to either tell me that I'm right or wrong. But
I give up. I cannot compete with technology. Technology is against me.
I'm putting
It's
all the
against
comments
all-
up, so
Technology is my enemy.
yes, we know.
Looks
That's
like
why you keep
werewolves
your
and
kids
vampires.
wrong.
So before we go off tonight,
Mhm.
and since we're coming to the end of the show, check this out. And I decided to wait till around the end of the show to even bring this up. But matter of fact, I wasn't sure I was going to bring it up because it's just too creepy. It's just too freaky. So earlier this week, oh look, she puts me on the big screen. I hate that.
You're welcome.
Put me back.
Oh, come on, Dan.
Put me. We don't do that to me because she knows that throws me off. She's like messing. That's Sarah messing with Danny. She's like, he's gonna try to tell a story now. I'm gonna do something like juggle the big ones or put him on the big. Anything I can do to mess with the boy.
You're welcome,
Okay.
Dan.
Yeah, I know. So earlier this week, we were talking about what kind of show to do, and I'm talking it over with Sarah and Thrash. You know, we're texting back and forth, and we're talking about werewolves. And Pons up here says, "Well, I don't want to do the whole show on werewolves. We'll have to go off and talk about a monster or two or something else." And I'm like, "Cool." And then Sarah's talking about the video. And I sent her this video to show some werewolves jumping around, and she come up with this really cool song and put it together and sent it back. And we're doing all this talking about werewolves. And I don't know if it's true or not, but my grandma used to tell me, be careful what you talk about because you'll talk it into existence. You'll speak it up. You ever hear that crazy stuff, Thrash?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or is it a Southern thing? Do people in
No,
California
no.
ever say that?
No, no. It's a pretty transcontinental.
Oh, it's universal then because everybody knows what speak it up or talk it into existence is, right?
Exactly.
You know, I never believed in that shit. I'm just saying. But we're talking about werewolves and stuff, and we're dealing with the werewolves and stuff. Getting it ready for the show about fictional werewolves and stuff in movies. And I swear, I'm out in the backyard smoking, taking the dog out to take a dump. And I start hearing howling in the freaking woods.
Yep.
And any other time, I wouldn't have thought two craps about a wolf or something howling in the woods. But because we had done that werewolf thing, boy, I think I about dropped the deuce. I really did. And I was like, what are you doing? So the minute I got the dog put up, I come back out and started making videos. And the videos were up on the Daily Dan blog. And I swear to God, it just gets closer and closer. And you can hear these howling in the woods and stuff. And I'm like, I just want people to know when they watch them videos, I'm trying to hold my butt cheeks together because I'm still freaking over all the werewolf talk. And I kind of felt like we had talked something into existence this week. It kind of freaked me out a little bit.
It was interesting because like I'm ready to go to bed and I get this message from Dan. He's just like, right now this happened. And I'm like, what? And I go watch it. I'm like,
you believe that?
Too funny.
True story, man. It's like
That's crazy.
It's like, you know, we sit there and talk for an hour about werewolves, make videos and write songs, and then I hadn't heard them wolves howl in 6-7 months. Hadn't heard nothing like that nowhere around here. And then that one night, right when we're doing that, then the howling noise starts back.
Yeah, see something.
What are the percentage chances of that crap?
There's just something similar kind of happened. I had been talking to UFO Man about an upcoming show that he was doing like a few months back, and about how like owls are a part of like, you know, people seeing like UFOs and stuff. They see a lot of owls or something like that. I forget exactly what it was. And then like that night, after we had this like lengthy discussion about owls, that night outside my window all night, I heard this whoo whoo all night, and I'm like, wow, that was odd, of course. And then there was growling at my window, and I'm like, what's happening? So that was an interesting night. What did we talk to existence that night? I was like, am I going to be abducted? I don't know. So I get you, Dan.
A were owl.
A weird owl.
Where owl? Ow, hoot. Ow. There you go. All right, I don't make a good one.
I heard about other animals like that. And there is something like that called an owl bear. But that's from the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. It's an owl bear. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, well, it's like a mythical creature with an owl head and a bear body and some pathetic Dungeons and Dragons monster. But there are werebears, were-tigers, were-cheetahs, other
Were-pharaohs.
there's people that become cat monsters too. So reported or whatever in mythology. I'm not going to say it's real. I'm just going to say in mythology.
Right.
But I have heard of that before.
Well, heck, cat people. With Natasha
Actually,
Kinski.
there's a whole cartoon. There's a whole cartoon based on that. The Lino guy and was it Thundercats or something?
the Thundercats, yeah. Give me something on the side or something like that. I forget now.
This is a little more adult than that, but
well, I think there was. Never mind. I'm not going to get into that. It's not the right show. Sorry.
Well, I sat through this god awful musical thing called Cats, and when it was over, I wanted to stick pencils in my ears and poke my eyes out with ice picks.
Did you see the movie they made a few years ago about the cats?
That's the one I'm talking about.
I saw the previews for that. My eyes just were bleeding. And I couldn't get enough brain bleach to get it out. That's why I still remember it to this day. It made the play look amazing. It was crazy. Don't do that.
Yeah, well, sometimes you have to sit through movies you don't particularly care for. I sit through Goosebumps Part 2 yesterday with a little talking demony dummy that can summon up monsters and all kind of stuff. And was surprised that I thought it was halfway decent. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't all 5-year-old like I was expecting. You know, like for little kids, it was a little more adult orientated than I was expecting. Had some stuff about Tesla in it I found interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think he was murdered?
Oh no, he died. He was like 100 or something, wasn't he?
Tesla?
Yeah,
he died. He died mysteriously in his hotel room, and then the room was swept.
I don't know. When you're that freaking old, I don't see nothing mysterious about you dying. I'm sorry.
Nikolai Tesla, he was like younger than we are. He was like 50 something.
No, man. Oh, no, I
He's
got,
older than me.
okay, hold on. That's,
Ooh, challenge
how old was
accepted, huh?
Nikola Tesla when he died? He was 86, man.
Oh, I stand corrected.
86. When you're 86, there ain't nothing mysterious about you falling over. The mysterious part would be if you lived.
Watch me. I just realized that was Rosen. I thought he was
Like 30
younger than
minutes.
that.
Hey, you
I
want to
thought
talk
he was
about
younger.
mysterious? You look at old William Shatner. He's 93. We're not talking about the fact that he's dead. We're talking about the fact he's still alive.
Right?
He's one of the last of the main cast members too.
Him and Mr. Sulu.
Yes,
And Walter
who
Keenan.
hate each other.
And he goes, "Oh my."
Oh my. Oh,
I love it when he says that, man. I crack up every time.
Right?
Somebody ought to clip that little part, and when somebody says something stupid, they should push a button and go, "Oh my."
Oh
Oh
my.
my.
That's what I like to do. Of people saying stuff to put up in the show. You know, always have a little something to
Oh
go to.
my.
I don't know if any of you guys watch
do that.
Archer, but
Huh?
George Takei had a recurring part on Archer for a while. He
I
played the
watched
head
some
of
of
the
Archer.
Yakuza.
Yeah.
I've seen that. Yeah.
It's very funny.
Yes.
I have a question, and I'm being serious here. Are you mentally ill?
Oh my.
I'm
Mentally
serious.
ill.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh
Oh
my.
my. All right, we all turned into him now. That's crazy.
There we go.
So your fault, Dan. Monster.
Hmm.
All right.
Hey.
Does this
But
conclude
on them-
tonight's thing?
Them closing
Yes,
note.
I think we're driving the show into the ground at this stage.
On
So,
them
Pons,
closing
did you have any
note-
trivia for your clans members on your side? I don't know what you call them, your Ponzers, whatever.
No, I decided to give Superplex a week off from trivia, and he was euphoric. So yeah, I have no trivia for this evening. Apart from my Curse of the Werewolf question, which Mr. Led did get correct. Yes. So
Mm.
that is as they
we
say.
do such a short show. Sometimes we don't. We might have some trivia. Sometimes, maybe sometimes we might not. It's just
Well, I
our
just
show
gotta ask
3
now
hours,
from now on.
5 hours. You know, I'd almost bet money that Chance is still on.
Oh, I
Oh,
can
yeah.
guarantee it. I can guarantee
So everybody,
it.
we're gonna go to chances after this. Okay,
To
go
go there
there.
and rate him and say, "Hey, you missed everything."
Right?
But anyway, I'm so well. The show was working until about 15 minutes ago when I froze.
Oh well,
But
I
yeah,
think
I'm
it's
gonna-
just caught up to that.
that very intelligent looking pose.
Yes, yes, yes. Better than the surprise
You can
ones
just
that
see
you
your shirt real cool, you know. It's
That's
like
good. That's good.
if you get a freeze, you should at least freeze up where the logo shows. I'm
Mm.
having trouble with my lighting. My
Your lamp
lighting
broke.
because my lamp went lit.
Well, the sun's going down. I don't want to turn on the lamp in my
That's
room.
worse than a lit lamp.
Yes, and
My-
Let's go there and troll Chance to tell him that he's a really cool person. He won't know what to do about it. He'll freak out and be all like, "Oh, me?" It'd be awesome. Go do that.
And I guess we're gonna shoot to do this again next week.
All right.
Are we
well,
doing a show next week?
Oh,
Are
you're
we?
right, every other week. No, you're
There
right.
you
So
go.
next week
With
is not
Halloween
every other week.
and everything, if you want to go ahead and bust one out next week because it'll be the last show before Halloween.
Yeah, I'll do a show at my normal 7:30 time next week. I hope to see you guys all there, and then we'll do this again the following week, and it'll be
Okay.
like sort of an alternate thing. Super. Anyway, guys, I had an absolute blast. This was a lot of fun, and I want to thank all you guys for joining us. Thank
Yeah,
you
right.
very
Well, I'll
much.
get in touch with you for our subject for next show in between now and then.
Oh, you'll definitely talk to me, and Sarah, I'll be talking to you as well.
Awesome. Everybody's got the ways to get a hold of everybody. Awesome base. We'll do that. I'm going to play us out. I kind of got things to do, like go to the bathroom.
I'll talk to you guys all real soon.
Yes.
Happy travels,
Take
everybody,
care.
and bye. Take care. And oh
friends, let's make it last. Time to laugh and time to chat. Geek out hard and that's a fact. Sarah's here to add the spice. Memories that feel so nice. Love the auditor, save the world with Sarah at their side. Oh girl, Sunday's fun with joy and cheer. Flip side, flip, flips over here. Save the world with Sarah at their side. Oh girl, Sunday's fun with joy and cheer. Flip side, flip, let's all revere. These shows from days gone by. Epic moments never die. Internet was such a blast. Fun with friends, let's make it last. Time to laugh and time to chat. Geek out hard and that's a fact. Sarah's here to add the spice. Memories that feel so nice. Like the auditor, save